A tiny lion cub was tumbling through the grass like he had absolutely no idea how small he was, pouncing on nothing, rolling over, shaking the dust off his nose and doing it all over again. His mother was right beside him, stretched out in the sun, watching him with those deep amber eyes. Every time he stumbled, she was there. Every time he ran too far, she called him back with a low, soft rumble. He would run back, crash into her chest, and she would lick his head with that slow, firm love that lionesses carry so naturally. They played like this for a while. She flicked her tail. He attacked it. She pretended not to notice. He thought he was winning. The whole savannah felt soft in that moment, like nothing bad had ever happened here, or ever could. But then the cub stopped. He sat down in the grass, and that playful energy just faded. He nudged his mother's chin, pawed at her belly. His eyes had changed. That bright curiosity, replaced by something more urgent. He was hungry. His mother hadn't hunted yet that morning. She lay still, conserving her energy, her eyes half closed. The cub waited. Nudged her again. Nothing. So he did what small, hungry, curious things do. He wandered. Just a few steps at first. The tall grass closed around him, his tiny ears poking above the blades. He kept walking, following his nose, following whatever invisible thing hunger follows. The smell of dew, the buzz of insects, the warmth of the rising sun on his small golden face. And then the grass opened up, on the other side of a shallow clearing. A small group of cows, grazing slowly, heads down, completely unbothered by the world around them, their tails swaying lazily in the morning breeze. The cub froze. He stared at them. They were enormous compared to him. But they weren't running. They weren't making any threatening sound. They were just there, calm and warm and present. He took one small step into the open. One brown cow lifted her head and looked directly at him. They held each other's gaze for a long moment. The cub's nose was trembling. His belly was empty. His eyes were wide and desperate, in the way that only a hungry baby's eyes can be. The cow looked at him, really looked at him, and then she simply turned her head away. She didn't move. She didn't leave. That was enough for the cub. He walked up to her on those oversized, clumsy little paws, this tiny predator approaching a creature 10 times his size, and without fully understanding what he was doing, driven by nothing but pure, desperate hunger. He reached up and began to drink. The savannah went completely still. The cow didn't flinch, didn't pull away, just stood there in that quiet, ancient way, her tail swaying slowly, her breathing steady. Like this was the most natural thing in the world. Maybe in some older version of the world it was. And then a shadow appeared at the edge of the grass. The lioness had woken up, found her cub gone, followed the scent across the clearing, fast, focused, silent, until she reached the edge of the open ground. And stopped. Her golden eyes went wide. Her cub, right there, alive, safe, feeding from a cow that was standing completely still, letting it happen. She didn't charge. She didn't roar. Every muscle in her powerful body just froze. She stood there at the edge of the clearing and watched, her tail completely still, her ears forward, her eyes holding something that had no name in the animal world, but every human who has ever loved someone would recognize immediately. The cow glanced at the lioness once, just once, calm and steady, then looked away. The cub finally pulled back, full, satisfied, completely unaware of the miracle he had just been part of. He turned around, spotted his mother, and immediately ran to her on those stumbling little legs. Tail straight up, ears forward. The happiest creature on the savannah, the lioness lowered her great head and pressed it against her cub, held him there, just for a moment longer than usual. Then she looked up one last time across the clearing. The cow had already gone back to grazing. The lioness held that gaze for just a breath, something passing between them that was too quiet and too deep for words, and then she turned and walked back into the grass with her cub trotting close beside her. The savannah returned to its silence. The wind moved through the tall golden grass. The birds kept singing somewhere far away, and for one brief, impossible morning, Hunger had been answered not with teeth, but with grace.